What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Bonnie Tyler, and we're returning to this second greatest hits compilation. Thank you once again, as always, to Michaela for providing the original very best of compilation, as well as to Adam, who shared another greatest hits compilation, and then again, his server had to go offline, so yes, I don't know. There seems to be a great many greatest hits or singles compilations from Bonnie out there. In any case, the next one in the compilation we're currently going through is, parenthetically, The World is Full of, and then for the main part of the title, Married Men. So I guess most directly the title of this one is Married Men, but the full title is The World is Full of. Where did you come from? The World is Full of Sneaky Lucas. Are you coming up? She's thinking about it. She's circling. Don't knock down anything. Well, I'm asking you politely to not knock everything down. Are you going to come up? Are you going to be a floor shark? Do I have to be worried? She's really considering her options at this point. I suppose we shall find out in good time. Nope, let's see, but that is the least appealing of the options, knocking everything down. The lap, the chair, what do you want? But yes, okay, so the title, there's a comedy to it. It suggests, or at least my first thought when I looked at it, is it might be a female narrator suggesting that the men she finds out in the world who perhaps are enticing, appealing, attractive, and or of good character or personality happen to be married, so that the options she has in terms of her own romantic pursuits are necessarily limited, or perhaps not fully limited, but more dangerous or more problematic if she were to pursue one of these men who she's caught in her eye or she's inclined to take interest in because they are in fact married. Thus, again, muddying the waters in terms of what might be possible or what the ethics of pursuing him are. So, yes, it might have nothing to do with that concept, but the idea that the world is full of married men would suggest, I guess, that there's not a lot of single men out there. It seems a dubious hypothesis or implication, but I'll see what I can catch on a first listen. This is Bonnie Tyler. The song is, parenthetically, The World is Full of, and then properly, Married Men. Oh. Bonnie does disco.
The world is full of married men with wives you never understand. They're looking for someone to share the excitement of a love affair. Just as soon as they find you, they want you and done you. You fly on the wings of romance, but in the eyes of the world, you're just another crazy girl who loves a married man. Comes through, and it's not just a thing, he swears it's a real thing, a love that could last till the end. As he's driving away, you know it's true what they say about married men. Oh, they do it, they do it, they do it, they do it again. to go home to his wife, cause he's a married man. Oh, your love is a secret, and you've got to keep it as long as you can. No, don't cry for your lover, there's always another married man. The world is full of them.
Don't you dare fade Bonnie if she's doing that vocally. Given that rasp, that fire like only she can do, and I don't say that as any exaggeration. It's really true that there are many female vocalists who can hit raspy, fiery deliveries, but none do so like Bonnie. And yes, what rapscallions, what rascals they are, these married men who carry on affairs and yet constantly promise that they're just on the edge of leaving their wives, getting divorced, but they never seem to actually do it. And when everything gets too hot, they tell their lovers who are seeking genuine companionship and passion and love that, you know what, we should just be friends and I can't do this anymore and I'm going to go home to my wife now. And yet they do it again and again and again. So having sympathy for them would be foolish and misplaced. And indeed, the song was more framed on the other side of the equation than I thought. I was thinking more about the perspective of this woman who's looking for a partner and unfortunately only finding married men. And it's actually about sort of their behavior and their duplicity and dishonesty and self-serving decisions. Though again, there's a bit of the perspective of her saying, well, like, you have to keep it secret. You know, you can't tell people about this. You can't celebrate it and enjoy it publicly. So we do get a bit of her perspective, but it's largely about her perspective of them and what they do and why they are scoundrels to be critiqued. And I would say also, I love it. It's like an entree of foot-tapping disco funk with a savory slice of saxophone. I was looking for one more S there. I couldn't find it in the moment. But yes, the saxophone was an incredible addition. Of course, Bonnie's voice carries this, and I think it fits the groovy, funky disco vibes very well. And I think, at least in the moment, I feel like this is the most disco of any of the tunes I've heard from her. There's others that you could certainly say are danceable, even dance floor, but this one feels, again, overtly disco with a helping of funk more than any I remember. And definitely the bass line has this funky climb to it. There's some nice keyboard, like electric organ kind of progressions. And yes, I think it's just a well put together tune. Maybe not the kind of music I immediately think of. And again, in the grand scheme of things, I'm still relatively inexperienced when it comes to her larger catalog, even though I've now heard, double-digit songs from her. But yes, this is one I'm less inclined to think of in terms of what sonic stylings I may expect when it comes to a Bonnie Tyler song. So it opens up her palette and her song or musical stylings more, which I very much enjoy. And yeah, again, I think it's a fair point. I think it's a fair critique, and whether it's, from real life or movies and shows, you see this dynamic a lot. A guy who says he really does love this woman, though again, as she says, maybe part of it for them is it makes them feel younger. They're, perhaps dating a woman who's a bit younger, or, seeing secretly a woman who's a bit younger, and it sort of, adds a bit of intrigue or mystique to their lives rather than just being the 9 to 5 worker who comes home to the wife he's been with for many years, decades, which again, part of I think the critique is like he's being unfair to the lover, but also to the wife, of course. So, it's their, whether it's a midlife crisis or their ego or just their sheer, sex drive, it's leading them to be entirely unfair across the board. And she's saying, unfortunately, the world is full of these types of married men. So, yeah, it's a song with clever and also, I think, fairly pointed lyrics. And of course, Bonnie's voice is great, especially, again, when she gets a bit more fiery, including at the end when it was, the volume was decreasing, which was unfortunate. And anytime you have a little sax bit in a song like that, I'm always going to be on board. So, once again, big thank you to Michaela, who sent me on the Bonnie journey, as well as Adam, who provided a little more material, and all those people who are following this deep dive at large. Look how tranquil and comfortable and calm she is, whereas at the beginning of the video she really wanted to end proceedings by knocking over the setup. In any case, let me know what you think, and I'll see you for the next one. Peace.